All right, we're live. All right. I normally I normally do infomercials at this hour. It's midnight my time. It might be 3 a.m. if you're Eastern, and I really wanted to jump on here. I know some people will be live, most people will be replay, but I really wanted to jump on here and have a conversation with you and really ask you how you're feeling. Really ask you how you're feeling. Really ask you, how are things coming along for you? That's important right now because there is literally a lot going on in the world right now. Let's take it a step further. There's probably a lot going on in your world right now. There's probably a lot going on in your world right now that you may or may not be able to articulate. You might be that strong friend or that strong person, and you're somebody that normally beats through your challenges with a certain level of poise. And this hour, like during this hour, is probably around the time when you begin to think about yourself for a change. It's probably around the time where you begin to try to wrap your mind around your challenges. Probably around the time where you're trying to identify, do I speak up about my challenge? I can't speak up because I'm the strong friend. I'm the person that everybody goes to for help. And you're probably just talking to yourself right now. I wanted to get on here and really raise some awareness from a mental health standpoint. And I want to remind that person that it's okay to be selfish from this perspective. It's okay to be selfish because you have to do what's required to rejuvenate yourself, to fill yourself back up, to fill your cup, so you can go turn around and continue to fill other individuals' cups as well. But what I want you to do is I want you to identify what you're going to do different as it pertains to how you communicate how you're feeling. This was something that my wife and I, we talked extensively about, especially in business, especially in our lane of business, as we talk to people about having the right mindset. Oftentimes, you don't want to create the situation that you're in, so you make a decision to not talk about it. But you got it backwards. You can talk out and talk through what it is that you're going through as long as you follow that up with a solution. As long as you follow it up with a solution. But I really wanted to get on here on today and really just talk. I understand that you're more than likely on this live and you're awake right now because you're trying to figure out your situation. Like, you're trying to figure out your situation, whatever that looks like, from a financial standpoint, from a health standpoint, from a mental standpoint. And I just want to remind you just to take everything one day at a time, one step at a time, one thought at a time. Yeah, one thought at a time. One thought at a time, because sometimes you have to slow the world down in order to have the right perspective on everything. That's good. Sometimes you have to slow the world down to have the right perspective on everything. So make that decision and just go ahead and slow the world down right now, whatever that looks like for you. Identify what you're going to do to communicate what it is that you're going through. Do you have a workout partner? Do you have somebody that, you can speak to them about what it is that you're going through and they won't judge you? Are you gonna do lives? Are you gonna do videos? Are you gonna write it down? Are you gonna burn it? Get really clear about that this season. But you have to be intentional about your mental health. You have to be intentional about your mental health. You have to be intentional about doing what not only will make you feel good, but will fill you up. Because it's a lot of things, it's a lot of triggers that can have you in a dark place if you allow it to keep you there. If you allow it to keep you there. So I really wanted to do a mental health check. And I pray for peace and for prosperity over your life, over your situation. I pray that you get free, that you get free from whatever that bondage is. I pray that you can become free of anxiety, you can become free of depression, you can become free of impatience, you can become free of frustration, you can become free of letdown, you can become free of lack, you can become free. But it all starts with you being free in your mind. It all starts with you being free in your mind. So I invite you to be free on tonight. Share this with somebody that you want to transfer that energy to. I invite you to be free on tonight. And be very aware of where your energy is going and flowing. You have to be very aware of programming in these days and what they're willingly showing you on an everyday basis. So you have to be aware of that. I remember we were reading Emotional Intelligence and it was talking about the triggers, and you have to be aware of different triggers that put you in a place that you don't want to be in. And you have to get right with your physiology to where you now have something that you can do to change it to now, if, like, say, for example, you were in that place and you can get out of that instantly. And you can get out of that instantly. I know I'm rapping, but I know this is going to be for somebody, though, so I'll put this on the channel. Dark vibes. Yeah, man, get your mental right. Check on your strong friend, and sometimes that strong friend is you. Check on yourself and do an audit of what you've allowed, and then identify what you're not going to allow in 2021. Sometimes a mental health check is simple. It's just identifying certain things that you're not going to allow to be done to you anymore. Sometimes a mental health check is simple, just identifying that, like you're not open for some communication anymore. You're not open for certain conversations anymore. You're not open for other people's opinions anymore. Because for some people on a video like this, that's the one thing that's going to free you. Getting free of what other people think about you, how other people perceive you, where other people think you should be, how far they think you should be, etc. Been watching a lot of content from people that they made a decision to be free, and they made a decision to be themselves, believe in themselves, and operate from the place that God has called them to. And the moment that they made a decision to do that, they were free. And these are a lot of people that are like opening up, talking about, yo, I was going through this, from a mental standpoint. And it's like, not all I have to do, but one of the things that I can do that unlocks my freedom is being unapologetically me. That's exciting. One of the things that can unlock my freedom and that can put me in a place to where I'm operating from a better mental health standpoint is changing the narrative and not doing what others think that you should be doing, but doing what you know you should be doing. Being yourself. And I'm gonna be myself. I'm a bad motherfucker. Yeah, I'm gonna be myself, dog. And you have to make that decision to do the exact same thing. And I'm gonna forgive myself for the past. An easy mental health check is asking yourself, is the stuff that I'm thinking about right now relevant? And for most people, the answer is no. For most people, you're putting yourself through a lot of turmoil in your head for things that shouldn't even exist in your current right now, because you're still thinking about your past. You're still thinking about the past challenges. You're still thinking about the past relationships, how somebody did you wrong, etc. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself so you can grow. But don't be afraid, though. Forgive yourself so you can grow, but don't be afraid, though. Don't be afraid to get yourself out of stuff that don't serve you. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. And don't be afraid to speak out. Man, the right people gonna hear you. Most people don't give a fuck anyway, but the right people gonna hear you. Man, this was good. Man, this was good. Yeah. Check on your strong friend, man. What really, really made me make this video, it was after I watched this one video, and then I saw a post, and it was talking about how most people are finding interesting ways to deal with their trauma. And that's been like a everyday thing for life. And that's why I had to make this video. And I heard from some gentlemen that can resonate with what I just said. And you can get excited about real people that get on here and keep it a band and keep it 1,000. about their situations, about their events. So I'm out, man. I'm about to start rambling. I know I'll be about to start rambling when I be about to start putting all my points together. I had something else I wanted to say, but I think we're done here. But mental health audit. How are you feeling right now? Are you competing, or are you creating? Are you in the past right now? Are you operating from the past right now? Have you forgiven yourself so you can grow? Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying why I made this video. I was saying I made this video listening to some gentlemen talk about trauma, and I saw a post about, everything that's going on in DC. They were talking about, there's certain people right now that are doing different things to try to deal with their trauma. And the two gentlemen that I saw that went live, they talked about dealing with trauma basically over the duration. We talked about dealing with trauma over the duration of their entire life. And they both talked about when they made a decision to be free, and when they made a decision to live life on purpose, and when they made a decision that they were going to be the change, like they were going to shift the paradigm, and they were going to shift the narrative that, that's not all there is to life, than having a traumatic life. Things began to change. They made a decision to be transparent about their journey, and things began to change. So I can get really excited. Clearly, we've been real transparent. But I am really excited to be very transparent from a mental health standpoint, to really help some folks get through, man, and get that breakthrough that some people don't get, that some people go their whole life and never get. You deserve to get free from your bondage, but it's going to start with your awareness. You can get on here and cap if you want, but a lot of people have been going through some stuff that affects them on an everyday basis, but life is moving so fast for them, they can't even slow down life enough to be able to identify that. And then they work and they work and then they work and then they die, and that's it. But you have the opportunity to be able to slow life down and to be able to identify, how do I feel right now? What am I thinking right now? And are my thoughts conducive? And if my thoughts aren't conducive, what can I do to change that narrative? Let's really take it there. Like, from a mental health standpoint, you may be taking a look at this video right now, and you may not even want to be here. Like, you may literally not want to be here, and you don't know how to articulate that. You don't know how to tell anybody that. And you don't want to begin to open your mouth to say that because people will think that you're crazy or whatever the case is. So you don't say nothing. You got it all bottled in, and you're like, yo, what does one do from here? I want to help you understand that you're human. I didn't even think we was going this lane. I definitely want to help you understand that you're human. But it begins with that awareness, though. Because if you don't make that decision to be aware, and act on it, then you might go and do something stupid that doesn't only affect you. It doesn't only affect you. They talked about suicide on there too, man. A lot of people can't resonate with that shit. That's some real shit. I remember them days, man. I was just talking to my wife not too long ago, ready to drive my shit into the other side of the whole situation, the other side of the median. You know. So everybody gets to a particular place, a dark place, if you will. That's why I made this video in the dark. I'm in a good place right now, myself personally. Praise the Lord, but you may be looking at this. You may not be in a good place right now. You may be trying to figure it out. You're trying to figure out your worth. You're trying to figure out, man, why am I even here? But I want to remind you that you're here on purpose. You are here for a purpose. I want to remind you that you're powerful and you have the ability to create and destroy. So you have to pick the lesser of the evil. You have to stand on that ability to create and begin to use your mouth and speak against what it is that you don't want. Speak against that suicide. Speak against that anxiety. Speak against that depression, that impatience, that frustration. Open your mouth and speak against it. To really take it there, like one of the things that like really freed me from anxiety was like really standing up to it. You know, if you're somebody that suffers from anxiety, next time you got an anxiety attack, just look yourself dead in the mirror and just remind yourself, I'm in control. 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 Because you are in control. You are in control to some degree. Our creator is guiding our path, but in turn, we have the control at the end of the day with free will. But take that though, that's some free game. You're somebody on here, you suffer from anxiety, look yourself dead in the face, say, hey, listen, I'm in control. 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 You're somebody that may suffer from depression on here. What is beginning to free me as it pertains to depression is perspective. I was speaking with a gentleman the other day, and I talked about how you have to look at life or whatever situation at that particular time for what it is only, and not for more than it is. I can speak for myself. A lot of people put themselves in a depressed state from a situation that, not in all situations, but in some situations they made it bigger than it needed to be. Again, not in all situations. I'm treading very lightly on that, but perspective changes things. Viewing things as they are and not worse than they are. Yeah, you're in control, bro. Straight up. I'm in control. I'm in control. I'm in control. I'm in control. It's not corny to talk about your mental health. It's not corny to do a self-check-in, a self-evaluation. Because the same people that would laugh at you and that would say that it's corny is the same people that will be wearing your RIP shirt. So it's not corny to raise my awareness on my mental state. it doesn't make you less than. It doesn't make you less of whatever you do. It doesn't make you less of an entrepreneur, less of a business person, less of an athlete, less of a musician. It doesn't make you less of any of that. In fact, it makes you more, because we're in a world where people will rather lie and cap and embellish about how they really feel, but deep down inside, they feel like shit. That's the kind of world that we're in. So, again, we talked about awareness. If you're aware that you live in that kind of world, and you can say, okay, I'm also aware that I'm not enjoying something. It may be, your current mental state, or whatever the case is, and you make a work to begin to change that. You're now beating 99% of people, because they don't even have the balls to keep it real with themselves about what they're currently going through at this particular time. But I'm definitely jumping off of here though. I'm definitely jumping off of here. I don't get y'all some real talk on here, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to just kind of just jump on and do like a check in every now and again. I've been sitting here like, I wanna give something new to my following and stuff like that. And I have a lot of stuff that I'm gonna be rolling out for y'all, but we really need to work on the mind. We really need to work on the mind. There's some paradigms that need to be shifted. Because I even think about the way I used to think when I first started this journey. Boy, girl, there's some paradigms that need to go ahead and get shifted. So I'm gonna put this on YouTube. This will probably be on Instagram. So definitely share this out. Share this out with a friend, family member, anyone that you real life care about, that you care about their well-being. Whether it's a what's the word? Whether it's a financial interest or not, go and send them this particular video, man. Mental health check-in. I love you. Let's work.